Well, hello and welcome to Bowtie Life, where we talk mostly about Take three. Hello and welcome to Bowtie Life. We talk mostly about life in the garden. And today is a beautiful day for a garden tour. Trying it yet again. Beautiful day today. Gorgeous day today. A little bit windy. We had some rain last night, but let's get into the intro and we'll talk about the weather next. Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave. So here we are in the month of January 6th today, I believe it is. And it's a beautiful day here in Destin, Florida. And please subscribe if you have not done so already. We are kind of at a reset point in the year. But basically, I go through every single month and do a full garden tour. We have a lot that is 100 foot wide and 106 foot deep in the heart of Old Destin. And we've been here, we're in the middle of our third year here. I cannot believe it. And we've built a lot of garden beds and we've done a lot of work, and I've enjoyed sharing as much as I can with you over the past few years. Actually, we're coming up on 2 years, I think, next month from our first video. I have to look that up, but anyway, there's so much going on in here. I split it up into 3 parts. The front and side garden is the first part, the outer gardens and the backyard is the second part, and the third part is the raised beds. And this is really my own personal log, step by step, of what's going on each month in the garden and what's happening as far as what's growing, what's developing, what's not developing, what's failing. I try to share as much as I can because this is my personal log of all that. And I look back on these things frequently. In fact, I found myself today working on a project twice, looking back for information on something that I had done that I wanted to figure out, did I do it this way or did I do it that way? And I figured and found out. But anyway, out here by the windmill, and we had the windmill off of here. The top comes off. And we had the windmill off because of the storms last night. It was really windy. We ended up getting over 2 inches of rain last night. I thought it was up close to 2, but my neighbor over here told me this just about half an hour ago that he measured 2.5 inches. So I'm going to go by his 2.5 inches. It sounds much better. The weather. That's what I want to talk about first, is this weather. We have had a few cold nights, and I say a few, and I say cold a little sarcastically. There have been 3 of them that dropped below 40 degrees. I think we actually hit 37 one morning and 39 on 3 other mornings. It was 37 degrees Fahrenheit is I don't know, what's that, 3 degrees Celsius? It's still not freezing, and we didn't come anywhere near having frost, so it's been very nice. And we don't, here in Destin, Florida, we don't get frost we get frost most years. Last year we had 18 degrees on Christmas Eve, and I don't think we're going to make that this year. That was a record-breaking cold for us. But our forecast, long-term forecast, doesn't look like we're going to have any freezing temperatures coming up. Which is kind of interesting. If we don't have cold within the next 3 weeks, then we might not have a frost this winter, which I'm not complaining because things still growing. You'll see in the raised garden bed tour and here in just a minute that I'm still growing Roma tomatoes. They are still, in fact, I harvested 3.5 pounds of Roma tomatoes today. I could not believe it. Check this harvest out. It was a lot of Roma tomatoes. Very happy about that. We're going to be doing some more pasta sauce. If you saw our recent pasta sauce video, I'm not sure, Mrs. Bowtie might want to do something else but we'll have to see what comes of that. So I was talking about this property that we're on, and I know in the last couple of video tours I talked about how we have this little map of the property in the corner, but we're coming up with a new map in the corner, and we did it. On Christmas Day, we shot aerial video of our property, and you can see here the whole thing starting around the front and then the side, and you can see we've done a lot of work with a lot of garden beds and all the way around the back. This property is getting filled up. There's still more to come in the future. I'm hoping this year to get more of the tier garden put together, and we'll just have to work on getting that done. It's just been one project after another this past year. This past year, 2023, was a little disrupted with some other business. If you watch our videos, you know what that was. But yeah, so we're slowly converting this into a edible property and making a lot of good stuff on here so that we can eat and preserve and put away for the following year. But anyway, I think that's about everything I wanted to cover. Again, please subscribe so you don't miss the different parts of this. And let's get moving on the zombie wood chip pile. So you can see here that we've made a dent in the zombie wood chip pile. And interestingly enough, this thing, the soil in here is beautiful. It's been sitting here since February of last year, the middle of February. And it's processed. It was trees ground up into wood chips from a neighbor, and so it's sitting here for 11 months. There's a lot of grass growing on it, but inside is just dark, rich black soil, full of worms, full of life. It's wonderful. It's here in the southeast corner of our property. In fact, you can see this is the new map of our property. And you can see down here in the corner with this red circle is where we are looking at right now. But we're kind of working our way around through the strawberry patch, and I've actually just started on planning out the strawberry patch. We have a 14 from this stake right here. There it is. From this stake right here, it's 14 foot across to that other stake, and that stake there, it's about a foot to the driveway, so we got a little bit of walking space over there. But that's how long these raised rows are going to be. There'll be a raised row here. The stakes here actually mark out where the walkway is going to be. And so there will be a raised bed, the full length here, full length there, and full length there. So 3 4-foot wide rows of strawberries. And we've also pulled out a pomegranate tree right here in this corner. So the first of the 3 pomegranates is out. This one here, this will be, well, we'll talk about that in a second, but there still are a lot of living strawberry plants in here, and I'm very excited about it. This, especially this area, just oh, ouch, there's a briar. Doggone it. I didn't see that. I was trying to keep this stuff out of here. Got to pull that out. Boy, it looks a lot like, couldn't even see that in there. I need to do a better job of watching for that, but you can see there's strawberry plants all through here. They are ready to go. Good, decent crowns. They're kind of small, but I'm pretty sure these are second-year plants. But you can see, look how close they are to each other. They're just choking each other out. Right there. There's one crown. There's another crown. There's some that are just stacked way too close to each other. And we got to get these separated out, and I want to put them with about a 10-inch spread between, maybe a foot spread between them, so that they can have plenty of room to grow this year and develop their strawberries. And I'm going to put down weed. I'm going to try this year with weed fabric over it and make a better looking bed that's going to control the weeds better. So hopefully here pretty soon we will have this area converted into a much better space. So we have our mint, of course, our chocolate mint. Jalapeno still growing. You can see here we have developing jalapenos, looking very nicely. This one's actually turning red. That's kind of nice. So I am trying to make this garden tour go a little bit faster. But there's the pomegranate that still lives. It is a deciduous tree, so it loses all of its leaves. Down here in this corner, of course, we still have our beautiful rosemary that we are working on. I did pull out the basil plants, and we have our plumeria here that's still looking good. We need to pull that pomegranate out so this thing doesn't get scraped on the branches there. That kind of looks rough. And then, of course, the last thing we have over here is the brown turkey fig. No change whatsoever, no leaves, but since this is the first of the figs, you can see it's got good tips coming out here. It's going to be growing some more this year. In one of my recent videos, I mentioned that I lost my Durango, the white Durango. Someone pulled out in front of me in the highway, and it was totaled, though no one was hurt, which is very fortunate. But here by the front door, of course, we have our mums, and I need to trim these down. Also need to put more soil in there. I haven't done anything to these. Interestingly enough, that it does have a single flower here. I thought that was hilarious. It's collected some of those big leaves from the American sycamore tree, and which is normal. There's another single flower down in this pot as well in the mums, but they're looking good. They have new growth down here on the bottom, you can see. So I just need to come through and cut out a lot of this dead stuff so that it can thrive again for the new season. In fact, the growth down here is just so thick. I can't get over this. I know I've said it before, I need to figure out how to better take care of these mums. I'm still learning flowers. We do have under here a few items that there's some, I believe these is this broccoli or cauliflower? Broccoli. Yes, early green and calabrese broccoli that we need to plant out. These were in the solo cups indoors, and I've got them sitting out here so they can start mellowing in the sun, hardening off. We got a beautiful looking yarrow right here that's been growing here, and since September 27th. Here it is, January 6th. Still going good. A couple of artichokes we need to put in, some thyme, some fennel. There's some dill right here that's kind of drooping over right now. I think a couple of these kind of got a little too much water here recently, so yeah, gotta get these hardened off and in the ground. And of course, talking about the artichokes, that takes us to the artichoke patch. And I'm a little bit excited to report that 3 of the 4 new ones have taken off. I got these in the collars are the brand new ones that we planted. These that are not in collars are the old ones, and they actually look pretty good. I'm very pleased. This one right here below us is the only one I'm a little concerned about, but it actually looks pretty good down there. It's got new growth. This old leaves been kind of beaten up here recently with the wind and the weather. It's been a little rough, but they're looking good. I do want to show you this yarrow down here. Again, don't know exactly how big this is going to get or what, but it is looking very, very healthy. Great habitat for lizards to hide in, I've discovered, much to my surprise. But yeah, so it's looking wonderful, very thick, very bushy growth. It's putting out new pups, and this is going to get thicker and thicker this year, I'm hoping. So we planted this spring of last year, and I'm beginning to think I should have planted it out fall of the previous year, so it can have some winter time to start growing. This is a perennial, which means it grows year after year. The orange bell, in fact, this orange bell right here is 3 years old, and it is still giving us bell peppers. The bell pepper plant that will not die. So yeah, that's kind of exciting. There's an amaryllis down there doing pretty good. I've noticed that there appears to be some new bulbs, and I don't remember replanting this bulb way over here. I may have, I'm not sure. But this bulb is getting huge. We had that one video I put out a while back. Breaking up is not hard to do. And that was talking about the amaryllis. breaking up these bulbs down in here, and I've got to see if maybe I can do that again. We'll take a look at that one that broke up to kind of get an idea here in just a few minutes. Right next to the artichoke patch, down there is the sunchokes, all those brown sticks. They are a tuber that is a perfect substitution for potatoes for diabetics. It does not make your glucose spike like a potato does. And there's nothing's been harvested here. One thing I would like to do, you can see I have some pretty big pots here and some smaller ones down here. Well, we're replacing these bottom two with one huge pot right there. And that's going to be a task one day. It's going to be pretty hard to do, but we'll get it done. And we'll transplant some of these sunchokes into the new pot. But I don't suspect these things are very big. We will harvest one of these upper plants here pretty soon, and I will be sure to do it on video so you can see what it looks like. We do have a whole series that we did with cousin Bowtie Mark on harvesting these and cooking them 3-4 different ways and fermenting them and doing all kinds of stuff. So be sure and check that playlist out if you have not seen it already. This sunchoke, I think, it's also called a Jerusalem artichoke. It is an amazing plant, makes yellow flowers that the butterflies just love. And coming up right behind it is our fig tree. This was the first fig tree that was planted, and you can see it's about as tall as I am, maybe slightly shorter than I am, but it is looking good. You can see the tips of all these branches. All the leaves fell off in the winter, of course, but this is just getting ready to explode this year with green growth all over the place. I still have to cut one branch going inward down there, but I think that's the only thing I need to cut from this. So this fig tree here in about a month is going to start putting on leaves and looking beautiful. And I know we had 3 snowmen out here for Christmas. This is one of the 3, but this one says snowman melt your heart. And I always thought this could also be a Valentine's snowman, so I always leave it up. This is actually made by Mrs. Bowtie's father, and he built this about 20 years ago for us, and we have always put it up. He passed a number of years ago, and always put it up kind of in his memory. But coming over here to the pollinator patches, the front one here, the rain lilies across here, all these grassy looking things. There's several bulbs down in here that we planted in. We spread out from this front cluster. We didn't even touch the other 2. I'm hoping this thing will give us some flowers this year. It didn't give us very many last year, and I have a feeling it was because of the freeze from the previous Christmas. So I think it may have stressed the bulbs. That aloe is looking really good that I planted. That will get pretty big if we let it. Of course, a couple of more yarrow, which, as you can see, are looking beautifully thick. Not quite as developed as that other yarrow, but they are looking good. It gets a little more shade through here, so I don't know if that's going to affect the amount that they grow. Over here to the right, of course, we used to have zinnias all through here, and there are zinnia seeds spread throughout here. So this year, we're going to see a lot more growth coming in through here, and I'm kind of anxious to see how that looks. But the Egyptian walking onions, there is several bunches here. If you'll notice, there's 2 more bunches here. There's another bunch down here. These are all pups from the original Egyptian walking onion. These things grow a tall stalk. They grow bulbs on top of the stalk. The stalk falls over and it spreads out. And you can see here, actually there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bunches. There's a couple of little strands right there. That is another one. But if I come up here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh yeah, here it is. So this is another new one right here that we put on a video. We actually pushed that into the ground as it fell over, and you can see these things, makes these stalks. It's going to come up with another stalk with a bunch of little bulbules on it, and they will fall over, and we'll plant them and make more. Oh, I just noticed for the first time There's one single strand right there is coming out. So, and sure enough, there's a whole bunch of them right there that grew out. So it's starting to spread. They're called Egyptian walking onions because they will walk across your garden, and I am encouraging that. I want a nice thick bed of these onions in here in a few years. So the Egyptian, what are we talking about? The angel trumpet, Brugmansia. It is toxic. Okay, folks, this is a toxic plant. Do not eat this. Do not let your kids around this that might be in the habit of eating things. This is a toxic plant, but it is so beautiful, and I just can't get over that it's January 5th, 2024. This thing has been in here for over 2 years, and it is still flowering. That's the only reason why it is still in my garden. If it didn't look this beautiful, I would have pulled it out a long time ago. It did die back to the ground at the Christmas freeze of 2022, and I thought it was gone then, and I thought, well, if it's gone, it's gone. It was supposed to happen, but it came back with a passion, and it's even got a new, you can see right there in the middle, it's got a new stem growing up, so it's going to be a 3-stem plant here pretty soon. But look at all these flowers still coming out in January, and this, saving the best for last here, look at those. Foot-long flower, and you can see inside. Now, interestingly enough, I've never seen any bees in here ever, not even hiding in there. So I think the bees must know it's not good for them. And another reason I'm thinking, boy, this thing probably shouldn't be in my garden. But there it is, and there it stands. Of course, the Christmas geese have been de-Christmasified, so they are now just regular geese. And we have another bag of chocolate mint. And we head from there past the bunny at the sycamore tree into the back pollinator patch. And you can see, of course, our gnome is keeping watch over a very dirty bird bath. I've got to get that thing cleaned out. It is looking nasty. These little balls get dropped from the American sycamore. They grow mold in there. It just, yeah, it's a mess. I haven't seen any birds in there at all. No wonder, right? So, can you see anything new? Anybody that's been watching the channel? We've had 4 Thai plants across here. Notice we finally have a 5th Thai plant in here. Finally got that one moved that we discovered in the backyard. And we finally have our odd number of them, like I've been wanting to all along. Yeah, I know, it takes me a long time to do stuff. There are a ton of zinnia seeds throughout here. You might have seen the recent little video on winning the lotto with free seeds for life. Yeah, zinnia is a really good one for that. Go watch that video if you haven't seen it. But on amaryllis, this actually is one of the largest amaryllis bulbs that I have in the garden. In fact, let's see if I can get down here to it. There it is. See that right there? It's enormous. It is bigger than a soft baseball, not quite as big as a softball. But this thing is growing strong. Our weather has not killed these leaves back yet. I think I'm supposed to trim them. If you know, please comment. Am I supposed to trim these? I know I need to just go watch a few YouTube videos and find out. Problem is, they're not really dying back at all. They look beautiful. These leaves are gorgeous. Now, there's another one over here that I did. This is the one from the video. Breaking up is not hard to do. And this thing, these leaves are starting to fail. And so I'll need to start looking at trimming these up a little bit. I don't know what all the red is in here. That's weird. Is that just part of it? These are red amaryllis. It looks like they're bleeding though, almost, but they're not. I mean, it's part of the color of the plant. Weird. Something to figure out, right? So yeah, this is the biggest bulb right here I had, and we broke up several bulbs all around here to try to get a bigger patch. I first learned about amaryllis from a neighbor a couple years ago that has a yard full of amaryllis, and in the spring it is beautiful. So these Thai plants are just growing thick this year. They're going to look even better next year. Very happy with that. Hedges, of course, hedges need to get trimmed. That bird feeder needs to get filled again. And of course, we have back from a long stay in the Florida room, the lettuce and other seedlings in the bay window. We actually had a small Christmas tree in this bay window and some other stuff, but I just got these moved back in here. We've been harvesting lettuce off of there. It's time to start planting some new lettuce. But you can see here some of these seedlings. They're looking pretty good. They're kind of laying over right now because they were in the Florida room. And they got a little bit cooler than I think they like to be, but I'm leaving them growing. These are really backup plants. They're not really what I'm focusing on. There are a couple of broccoli in there that I need to replace out in the, well, we'll get to that in the third part in the raised garden beds. But anyway, so we're back in business with the window starting plant starting area. Just a quick look at the trees. I really just want to show what the condition is, just for my record. All leaves are gone from the American sycamore. Every single leaf is gone. All the leaves are gone from the crepe myrtle here in the beginning of January. All the leaves are gone from both crepe myrtles. The doomed pear tree, this little one right here, it's yeah, not even going to talk about that. There's the cedar or whatever that is, and of course the date palm looks no different. Let's go look at how the dates look. We're having a new flush of dates coming out of here, and they're actually looking pretty good. I don't know if you can see them right up in between there. Those are dates there, the little round balls you see. Those are edible dates, the pindo dates, not like regular dates. And of course, we're at the top 2 of the 4 tier gardens. I can clearly say, honestly and truthfully, that we are closer than ever to me finishing the other 3 of these. Funny thing is, I can always say we are closer than ever, because one day they will be done. Of course, all the bean plants have completely failed. Failed. I mean, they've come to the end of their life. There's nothing left in here. I did pick a couple of more bean pods. These got pretty well harvested clean. They produced a lot of beans for us. You can see that in our biggest preservation of the Blue Lake stringless pole beans. The Roma VF tomatoes, of course, these are in the organza bag, so the birds don't get them, and the squirrels are deterred. I did just harvest, would you believe, 3.5 pounds of Roma VF today, January 6th, 2024. Beautiful tomatoes. You can see here, lots and lots and lots of them. I was so happy, so very happy that we got these. And these have been planted. The seeds were actually planted in the spring. They were left in solo cups all summer. They were, or not all summer, all spring. Beginning of the summer, they were putting 8 of them were put here, and they have finally produced. I know, 8 months later. They're not supposed to even live that long, but there they are. Another mint plant helped deter the squirrels. The squirrels don't come up here very often. The grapefruit tree. I still keep an eye on the bottom down here. Some of these bottom branches, in fact, most of these bottom branches just need to come off. Someone mentioned that you got to look at the leaf cluster and if it has thorns or whatnot to make sure it's not the rootstock, and I keep an eye on that, and ultimately I just need to take all that off of there. It is starting to show a little wear. I'm still not sure this thing is going to make it. This is a beautiful grapefruit tree. Last year it gave us 240 pounds of grapefruits, over 240 pounds. So we'll have to see if this thing comes back. On the other side of the grapefruit tree, we have the grape vines. We're going to be doing a shift on all these after we trim them back and try to get this whole arch trellis moved. We're going to take the far side, flip it over, and it'll be, rather than where it is, it's going to be over to the right here. And I'm going to have to relocate the footings for the arch, the wooden arch that was in our youngest son's wedding. So, and then of course all those seedlings need to get cleared out. It is wonderful being able to have the grass out of there, most of the grass out of there. You can see through there now. A lot of these pepper plants, some of these have died, and we'll probably be putting in some new pepper plants in some of these grow bags. We still have Scotch bonnet, and this is citronella growing right here. I need to just start trimming that back so it'll bush out better. But more Scotch bonnet, jalapenos. There's some poinsettias I see, those things with the red leaves. Poinsettias, and another citronella back there. But of course we have our 4 bags of carrots that we grew together. And I come out and I pull 1 or 2 of these every once in a while just to see how they're doing. They are growing way too thick for carrots, and so this is on purpose. As they grow, we still eat these things, and I can see here, like there's some close ones together here. I will come in and I will pick what looks like might be the biggest carrot right there, and I will pull that just to see how it is. And you can see, look, it's a little baby carrot. Oh my goodness. And let me tell you something, these are delicious. I come out and pick a few of these every once in a while and just eat them. They are, I'll go rinse them off, of course, but the leaves are edible. The stems are a little stemmy, but they're actually very good carrots. They have a real nice carrot flavor, and eventually they'll be thinned down to where this will be full of real full-size carrots. That's one of the largest ones I've had so far. Very excited. Each one of these bags, though, are like that. And oh my. Oh my, oh my. This is what I'm looking. Oh, look at that. There's a real carrot. Now, I think this one is a mix. Yes, it is a mix, carrot rainbow mix, because that one actually looks purple. This one looks a little more yellow. Oh, that's cool. So, like I said, I just come out and pull 1 or 2. Oops, I dropped my other carrot. Doggone it. There it is. There we go. Big carrot, little carrot. Oh, that's exciting. That's the biggest one I've pulled out of these yet. That's awesome. I need to start keeping a closer eye on these, I guess, because it's getting time. It's been a while. How long has it been since these have planted? Let me just look down here for one of these tags. Should be right there. It is. These were planted, direct sowed, September 30th, 2023. Imperators. So yeah, I'm keeping an eye. Oh, looky there. Oh yeah, they're getting there. That's wonderful. These are real baby carrots. Did you know that what you get from the store and call baby carrots, they're not really, they're just damaged full-grown carrots carved down to look like baby carrots. This is a real baby carrot that tastes awesome. So that is the carrots, and this is last year's poinsettias. They still just live out here, live out their life. And of course the blueberries. Our blueberries are looking barren without their leaves, but they are getting ready to bloom. In fact, I want to show you this one right here. It actually started to bloom in one of our warm-ups. Got himself a little confused, but that's okay. He'll come back and it'll start blooming again. But this is all blueberries, the whole area. And here you can see on the map in the corner, it's not a small area. It's pretty big. So very pleased that we have this big a patch. It gave us 31 pounds 2 years ago. Last year, with all the traveling we were doing, I missed out on a lot of the blueberries and had friends harvest and did not get a chance to weigh them like I would have normally. I know I weighed 20 some odd pounds, but I think it was more than that. So anyway, that's the blueberries, and we are now at the end of the side garden. So there we go. I've actually eaten a few carrots about this size. They're edible, but you're gonna have the way I plant them, I'm gonna have to thin them anyway, and so that's okay. I could still, they still have good flavor, and those leaves, you can stick those in your salad. They still have a carroty flavor. Mrs. Bowtie asked me to save this one for her. She won't eat the leaves. But this is one of the yellow ones. I'm a little excited about it. Totally edible. Anyway, I like those yellow ones. That's from one of those mix packets, and I can't remember what the kind is. It was just a mix that we had. So anyway, that is the front and side. A lot happening. I think it's still beautiful out here. Can't believe I harvested 3.5 pounds of Roma tomatoes this morning. That just blows my mind. But anyway, I'll be working on recording the outer beds and the raised beds today and tomorrow. This is Saturday right now, so I'll see how far I can get. The sun is going down because I was messing around in the garden doing stuff. So, oh, wait a minute. There's one more bed that I didn't cover. So the last thing is the asparagus patch. My asparagus is finally starting to turn brown, and I will be trimming that back here in a few weeks. When there's no more green in it, I will trim that off. There's one more yarrow up here, but I've also put a tarp over the rest of all that grass that's in there to kill it over the next month or two, so that by the time I'm ready to plant something else in this area here in, I don't know, 2 months, maybe? We'll see, a little over 2 months. All that grass will be dead underneath there. It'll be baked and dead. So that's all I'm doing here. Another amaryllis up here. I think I pointed that out last time. Really hadn't done anything with this bed. Of course, there is one jalapeno plant, which is surprisingly still producing jalapenos, though corked they are. They're beautiful. They're good jalapenos. I've been harvesting off of these still. So there you go, the whole garden tour. I'm very happy with how things are looking for January. We do not get snow here. We get freezes most years, like I said in the beginning. So I'm not sure if we're gonna get a freeze this year or not. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen between now and the next garden tour. It has to. I guess it could happen in February, but it doesn't normally. So, I'm excited about the carrots. So I already said I'm gonna do the next parts. The people who have subscribed to the channel, thank you so much. You have made this channel what it, I know what I was gonna say. I'm very happy with the aerial video work that was done. A fellow I met actually lives in the old apartments that we lived in. The property manager turned me on to him, and he came out very professional. He got FAA approval to fly over a restricted zone. Remember, we have airports all around us, and this is all restricted zone. He actually called the control tower to get approval to take off his little drone into the air, and he shot with a Hasselblad. If you know what a Hasselblad is, he had a Hasselblad camera on his drone. I was so impressed. There's a story behind Hasselblad cameras in our family, but anyway, so yeah, that was the front and side gardens. And now I'm down to the point where I say, those of you who have subscribed, you are my heroes, and I do appreciate you have helped grow the channel to what it is today. It is getting to the next level that we're trying to grow the channel to, and some of you may know what that means, but it will be an improvement. Things get better as they grow. So I'm very excited to see that. If you have not yet subscribed, please join us on a regular basis for other garden tours. We do this every month. We're coming up on the end of 2 years. I am at month 22 right now, and I do this, like I said in the beginning, it's more for my own personal video journal of what's going on in the garden, because I go back and I look at what's happened and when things have happened, and it's how I journal things. And so yeah, that's what it is. But you are just so welcome to join us. If you thought this was at all informational, educational, inspirational, or entertaining, seeing what we're doing in the garden, please click that thumbs up and share this video on your social media. Comment below, tell me what you're growing right now, what you're harvesting. We have other stuff that we're harvesting in the backyard, and you'll have to watch the other parts of the video to see what's back there. There's a few little things that we're still harvesting. Okay, these leaves have just this subtle carroty taste to them. Very good. Anyway, so stick with us. Keep an eye out. The next part should be out in the next 3 to 6 days. It does take me a while to edit these videos and get them to a condition where they're good to upload to YouTube. So bear with me. I appreciate your patience, and thanks for coming along. I really enjoy having you here. Have a blessed day.